Hi, Trevor here, reflecting on life through music. Thank you for stopping by. Well, I trust you enjoyed my last video on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees, the Beastie Boys. And through their song Sabotage, we looked at those people in this world that seem to be disruptive, and what can we do to try and incorporate everybody's point of view. So I trust you found that one encouraging. Well, we're going on to a similar vibe today and a similar group. These guys were formed in 1987 at Liberty University in Virginia. Toby McKeon, who went on to be called Toby Mac, Michael Tate, and Kevin Max Smith. And those three got together and thought, hey, we're a bit exuberant, we're a bit excited, we actually believe pretty strong beliefs as well, and we want to bring that belief to the world, and so they formed dcTalk. These guys' sound have evolved over time. They started out hip-hop. They went into pretty hard rock, grunge, and even a bit of rock pop as well. These guys were signed to Forefront Records in 1989, and between 1989 and 1998, 5 studio albums, 1 live album, 10 compilation albums, 14 music videos, 3 EPs, and 23 singles. Now, when these guys came out, these guys were absolutely massive, bearing in mind that very much the scene of music in the 90s was grunge, and these guys well and truly morphed into that as time went on. I actually saw these guys live with another legendary band, Whiteheart, and they were absolutely massive. What an incredible concert that one was. Really, really enjoyed it big time. These three, together with their incredible backing band, and there's just so many of these guys on stage, because we're talking about progressive music almost here. They're just exuberant, so captivating, so full of energy and uncompromising in what they're talking about. Now I'm going to go on to one of these songs. In fact, I might as well get onto it now. That brought these guys into worldwide notoriety. It was 1995, and well and truly grunge had taken over these guys' hard rock, and they brought out the album Jesus Freak. Now, just stick with me here, right? What do we say in this world? We say you got to stick up for what you believe. You got to be able to say what you can believe in. We ask that when somebody else says what they believe, we listen. We expect it to listen. We expect it to be understanding. We expect it to be all that kind of stuff. But there's something about this name Jesus that just freaks something out. Freaks people out in particular. And the lyrics of this chorus, it says, what will people think if they know I'm a Jesus freak? Will they somehow treat me differently, or think I'm a different way? I think I'm a bit weird almost. And I think there's just something we need to just stop and have a think about here. Why is it that people get freaked out by this name? Now, if you think, and you probably know me by now, myself, I'm a Christian, I suppose. I have a belief in this Jesus guy as well. And I just wonder, I ask myself these same questions. Why do people automatically turn off when this name is mentioned? After the end of the day, this guy came to earth. He went around healing people, people raising people from the dead, and people had leprosy, and people had evil spirits and demons, people who couldn't walk and couldn't see. He says some pretty cool things like, our Father forgiving his son that had run away, looking for the lost sheep. Now, and he didn't really have much time for the local establishment of the time. He saw them as hypocritical and didn't think that was such a great idea. But he was a superstar of his age. When he came to Jerusalem on a donkey of all things, people laid down their coats and palm leaves and shouted, hey, welcome to Jerusalem, great to see you here. And those cries of, hey, great, went to see you here, went to crucify him just a few days later. Jealousy is an amazing thing, and losing your power and sense of power that you have can be a pretty compelling, amazing thing. And it was so compelling that the establishment of the day convinced the Romans to put this guy to death. Now, crucifixion, let's just not go there. If you want to look up and see what crucifixion is, by all means, it's not very nice, okay? And in the meantime, he was training his 12 mates to go around and to do what he was doing, and they went on to actually to change the world, these 12. And this little fledgling faith became a worldwide faith that it is today. And so, what's wrong with all that stuff, really? What's wrong with saying stuff, looking up, caring for your fellow man, saying things when they need to be said, but at the end of the day, sacrificing yourself for humanity. What's wrong with that, really? And I think that's the question, what will people think if they know I'm a Jesus freak? Well, the word, we all know what Jesus is, but the word freak, it's almost like they're accentuating the fact and say, hey, look, we're Jesus freaks, we don't care. Deal with it. And, because of that, these guys got, they received 4 Grammy Awards, including this album, and 16 Dove Awards. So, right, the world well and truly took up a notice when those words Jesus freak came out. So it's not my role in this series to try and convince you to follow or whatever we're going to do. Whatever your interaction has been with the church or whatever, the question is, what are you going to do with this guy? I'll just leave it there. So may that be an encouragement for you today. It's like most things, I'm just doing my thing to try and make the world a better place as well. And Jesus certainly did do that when he was on this earth, and he's still around today with his Father in heaven. It was just pretty cool. So let's get on to the clips. We do have a few clips from dcTalk. As I talked about before, this just really encompasses how enthusiastic, how just totally captivating, and just how many guys are on stage with these guys to just get the dcTalk sound out. So it's pretty big. So we've got Jesus Freak. This is a live clip from the album, 1995 album of the same name. Again, the morphing from hip hop more into the heavier rock grunge that we're getting to around there. Jesus Freak got it to number 16 in the Billboard chart. So pretty massive album for these guys. We then got Jesus Is Just Alright With Me. This is a remake of the Doobie Brothers classic, believe it or not. Incredible harmonies. One of the things that dcTalk could actually do was sing quite well, do harmonies quite well, and just really carry the whole music, that powerhouse that was dcTalk. Off the album Free at Last of 1992. We then got to the song Supernatural, very much talking about the mysteries of love and of faith. This is a live version from the 1999 album Supernatural, album of 1999. We then get Coloured People, and now of course Michael is of colour, and I suppose really what dcTalk were trying to do is just to build a bit of consciousness around why do we see people as different just because we're a different skin colour. Off the album Jesus Freak from 1995, this is the official clip on that one. They're answering so many questions around why we see people different just because they're different colour, and a little bit more of a strip max song for dcTalk. We then got Love Is a Verb off the Free at Last album from 1992. Exactly that. Love isn't more than just saying I love you. You've actually got to show it, demonstrate it, and be it, and act it for it to actually really make sense. We actually hear the words I love you time and time again, but to actually see those words. And this is a bit of a challenge to the world on that particular thing, the official clip on that one. We got My Will. This is off the Exodus album from 1998. This is a live version, and this is probably a bit more of an unplugged song for these guys, very much about aligning their will. Now, these guys are absolutely massive at this point. dcTalk were huge. A bit of a revelation in the Christian music scene, not just Christian music, but also the world in general. But this is always about keeping yourself centered about what is really important. So the links to those 1, 2, 3, 6 songs are in the description below. And I've also included my last song from the Beastie Boys, so if you want to recap on them, feel free. Well, thank you for hanging around to the end tonight. It's going to be tricky to talk about this sort of stuff, but you know what? As I would listen to anyone else's beliefs, I really would. And trust me, I've heard many things in this world. I think that you've done the same for me today. Haven't pushed it down your throat though, have I? Hey? Let's just leave it at that. So, yeah, if you've come back for another one, or this is your first time, the Life Reflections Through Music, thank you for everybody for doing so and for coming back. And I'm really, really appreciating the engagement we've been getting of late. Well, that's it for today. Next time we're going to go on to Australian music royalty, Diesel. So until then, I'll catch you around. Bye for now.